Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another multi-genre month on my channel. This time I'm reviewing a horror film. Yeah, a horror comedy, sci-fi black comedy slasher film from 2019, before everything went to shit with COVID last year, directed by Christopher Landon. It's a sequel to the 2017 Happy Death Day, which came out and was a surprise hit and very funny and very, very entertaining. This is the sequel, Happy Death Day 2U. I know my friend Josh's birthday's coming up next week, so I'll wish him a happy birthday in a few days. This has the same cast from the first one, most of the same cast. You have Jessica Rothe, who's absolutely gorgeous, good actress too, really, really comedic, good comedic timing. Like, why this actress hasn't been in the MCU is beyond me. If she was Yelena, I would have freaking loved it. Granted, she's older than freaking Binto, but she could have played a good Yelena or a good, I don't know, Captain Marvel if everybody hated Brie. This could have been a good substitution. But it is what it is. She can still get a chance. I think she's hilarious. You have Israel Brassard. He's the main guy, her main love interest. You have Suraj Sharma. Is that the yeah, he's some Indian dude. He's in the movie. Steve Zissis. He's he's an older actor. Yeah, the film basically takes place right after the first movie. If you've seen the first movie, Happy Death Day, which I did, I saw it on cable a few years ago. Very funny film, and it is PG-13, but it did it right. The film again follows Tree Gelman Roth, who was accidentally transported to another dimension, like in WandaVision or in freaking Doctor Strange, or what we're gonna see in what we saw in Into the Spider-Verse, and what we're gonna see in the next Spider-Man movie, where she must relive a different version of the same day repeatedly as she tries to return home while a new killer is on the loose with a baby mask, and and hijinks ensue. This is actually a good Blumhouse movie, unlike Truth or Dare or Fantasy Island or a lot of their garbage. What else do they do? Like Escape Room? Yeah, I don't like those movies. They're just bad. Jason Blum again serves as a producer through his Blumhouse production, but this is a good Blumhouse movie. Not better than the first one, but I think it's just as good as the first one. Mainly because the first one was funnier and Jessica Rothe just owned it. This one is a little bit long. It's like 100 minutes. I think 10 minutes could have been trimmed. There is a character that stands out for me in this sequel that I thought is absolutely gorgeous. Like, yeah, this girl. And please don't argue with me, Josh. Look at this girl's face, Rachel Lynn Matthews. She plays Danielle. Absolutely stunning. Like, if Jessica Rothe is already taken, well, I have this girl. Look how gorgeous she is. Look at that face. That is absolutely magical. The powers of estrogen can do. It can make a face just bloom in a freaking spring breeze. You also have the Asian guy is basically in this movie. It's his fault why they're in another dimension because he tampers with this machine that's in the freaking studio or like the workshop, and it goes crazy and it gets her into the time loop, kind of like in Loki when there's a time loop in that. Uh, and also, I like the fact that in this movie, Jessica Roth, Tree Gelbin, she gets to see her mother again because in this timeline, her mother's alive and not dead, and she hugs her, and you feel the emotion. And this is a horror movie. This is not a Hallmark movie. This is a horror black comedy slasher film with a ton of heart. Like, there's more heart in this movie than anything that I've seen, any horror movies I've recently seen. Because in the Purge election year, it wasn't a lot of heart. It was a lot of bang, bang, boom. I'm gonna kill you. Here, it's a little bit slower, but it's done well. The movie only costs. Look how much this costs. $9 million. Not 90, not 190, not 200. Take notes, DC and Marvel, and also freaking Disney. You don't have to spend a ton of money to make a movie look good or feel good. This movie doesn't have a ton of CGI. There's some of it, but it's very, very. It's in the background. It's not shoved in your face every 5 seconds like in freaking the Suicide Squad. Oh, there's a CG shark. There's a CG freaking starfish. There's this. I don't need all that. I need one likable character, and that's good enough for me. I don't need 18. Sorry, but I'm not going to see that movie right now. Why? Because it's not for me. This is more my style. Even though this is PG-13, it's funnier. There's a scene where she sees the guy in the other dimension, and she's like, "You're gay," and I'm like, "That's hilarious." She's great. I love her in this movie. She's just she needs to be in the MCU or a DC show or something like that. She's just fantastic. It got generally positive reviews. Praised Ross' performance. She owns it. Kiss my American ass, Yelena. Kiss it, both cheeks with no tongue. Yeah, because this is a real performance with a blonde that actually can act. That is not doing a stupid accent like this, and I'm dead inside, and I say nothing, I feel nothing. Yeah, kiss my ass, Pinto. This is a standout performance. This is what I want to see in the MCU. This is the kind of girl I want that has sex appeal and can act and shows emotion and is not a freaking robot. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, her performance is good in this and in the first one. Also, the film shifts to a more sci-fi tone than horror. There is horror elements though. People do die, and there's blood in it. A lot of blood. One thing that did not work in this movie is the villain. The British guy doesn't work as a villain. It didn't work in other films. It doesn't work here. It didn't work in Black Widow. It doesn't work here. Sorry. It's just they said it noted as derivative of the first film. They said that about Space Jam 2, and I had a freaking blast. Why? Because it was funny and it embraced the IPs that they use, and it was colorful, and it had a bunch of shit going in my face, but it was fun things going in my face for the most part. Here, it's less of that. It's just it's more grounded, and I like that as a sequel. It's not beat for beat the first movie. They want to do a third film, Happy Death Day to Us, in a development. I hope Jessica Rothe comes back. Make it end. Just say, like, I'm not going to relive that day. I'm going to kill this person, and then it stays dead. In the end of this movie, there's a post-credit scene. If you've seen this movie, I really don't want to spoil it, but something happens to Danielle. I'm just saying that. And she screams at the end, and then it ends. I'm like, that is a good... That's a better cliffhanger than the ending of Black Widow. I'm saying that right now. And the acting is better here. There's no one with a stupid accent. The Asian guy that's in the movie, he plays a substantial role. So it's not just a white supremacy movie. It has some variety in it. I hear fireworks, but yeah, the film it definitely it got a less rating than the first one, but it's a lot better than a lot of horror movies that came out this year or last year. And it's something not original, but it did something similar to Project Almanac, which is also a good film that had a lower budget, where they go back in time and relive something in the past, and it worked for me. It got a 71%, still higher than Black Widow. It may not be 98% like the Suicide Squad, but this is my kind of speed for a movie. It's not 2.5 hours long. It's shorter. It could use a little trimming, just 10 minutes, but it's still under 2 hours. 100 minutes is still under 2 hours, and it's not 3 hours like the Snyder Cut. It gets to the point for the most part. Once she goes into the loop, it's like, oh my god, it's happening again, and she's just hilarious. Like if you wanted a female Deadpool, oh by the way, Hollywood, if you want to do a Gwenpool movie, this girl needs to be Gwenpool because she has the freaking talent, she has the blonde hair, and she has the freaking comedic chops. Yeah, and she's American, so it could rival not Ryan Reynolds, but it can he's Canadian, then you have an American. It the best of both worlds, best of both of North America, the USA and Canada as one. That would definitely work for me. If she was Gwenpool, it'd be perfect casting. There's nobody that could tie her shoes because they haven't cast Gwen in the MCU. They have her animated. That's fine. Haley Steinfeld's amazing. I love her voice. Sexy. I can't wait to see her in Hawkeye. But in this movie, Jessica Rothe is so entertaining. I'm like, I don't know where they found this girl, but she's one of the most entertaining blondes that's not in the Marvel in a superhero movie. It pains me because we have these worthless Bints and Aussies and Kiwis and freaking Irish people playing American, and it doesn't work, or they're playing something else and it doesn't work. I didn't say Karen Gillan because she's trying, and at least she's done something in the MCU that's significant. Look at this lady. Look at her. Take a good look at that face. It's like if you took the girl from Glee, not Leah Michelle, the blonde from Glee, and gave her a lot of comedic chops. She also did the Valley Girl remake, yeah, and she's also in Amazon Prime's sci-fi drama Utopia. I'm going to watch it because she's awesome. She's 34 years old, so please, Marvel, just give her that role. You want to do Gwenpool, you mix Deadpool with Gwen from Spider-Man, and you don't want to be her to be Spider-Gwen. You can do this to be different from Into the Spider-Verse. Just do it. It'd be awesome. Or just give her some kind of a role. I want her to do something bombastic that freaking makes billions. Yeah, because she's so talented. Like, my God, she's she's like freaking the next Brie Larson. Well, actually, no, Erin Moriarty is, but she could be the third Brie Larson. Yeah, she's so badass, so badass. And she's from Boston, Massachusetts. Awesome Northerner, looks like me. And the film, besides, let's get back to the film. Yeah, the film, yeah, the deaths there's some blood in it, so this is not a kids movie, and it does have the dark tone, like the background uh kills are like they're pretty inventive, and the way she dies in this one is more is a little bit more brutal than the first one, but the first one definitely had a more tension. This one is more comedic and more sci-fi trippy, than the first one. But it's a movie that works. It's a scene in the hospital, like Halloween 2, the original, not that god awful remake, sequel to the remake, and it works. It's not overly violent, and they don't over sexualize his character. Just to let you know, in the first one they show her naked, but they don't show too much because it's PG-13. But I like this character. This character could be like a character in an MCU. Just make it R rated. Put her in a Gwenpool costume, and there you go. And she could be just as crazy and violent as the Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. I want that. I really want that. It cast her in Deadpool 3. I don't care. Just do it. I'm Gwenpool. Hi, Deadpool. What's up? You can do it. Hey, Marvel has everything now. They can use Gwenpool because it's not like they don't have the rights. They're sharing the rights with Sony, so they can get Gwenpool into the MCU. That would be absolutely freaking. That'd be like the best fan casting ever. That's not Emily Blunt. Just saying, guys, get her in the MCU somehow, or the DCU, or something superhero related. The Boys, or Invincible, or freaking, one of these MCU shows. Something. Just give me something. Give her something big, because I want, just absolutely awesome, man. This actress is clearly getting is one of my favorite actresses of this decade so far, because in the last decade I barely saw her work. I only saw the first Happy Death Day. This one, I'm like, you got to give her something big, guys. Be nice to her. And also, the fact that this movie stars a woman and it never panders. It never has to say, "Oh, these guys are so weak." No, or women rule and men's rule. No, it doesn't do that. It treats both men and women with some respect. The characters that matter in the movie, the main characters. The British guy, screw him. I don't care about him. But the rest of the cast is treated with respect. Why can't movies follow that order now? Have a female lead that's not, oh, I'm gonna shove a stick up your ass. No, it's that they're freaking likable. They have a personality. They don't have a shitty accent. They don't have agendas behind them, and they keep their mouth shut. Jessica Rothe, this is why she's better than Breck Bessinger, easily, without any question, because she keeps her mouth shut, and she's much older and has more experience, and she should be in a Marvel show or a DC show because she's so good. This talent cannot be wasted, guys. Don't waste it. I want to see Utopia because of her, because so freaking good, man. It's like I feel her performance in this. In Black Widow, Scarlett's done Black Widow better in other films. In freaking WandaVision, I loved Elizabeth Olsen and I loved Tiana Paris. But in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we had a total opposite. We had Carly, who was boring. In Loki, we had Sylvie, who was boring. And you had Gugu Mbatha-Raw, who was boring. And you had the freaking guard, who was boring. I don't want my women to be boring. I want them to have some kind of charisma. Sex appeal, charisma, and good acting chops. That's a trifecta of awesome that works. That's why I loved Captain Marvel so much. That's why I love WandaVision. That's why I loved Black Widow in the Avengers and Avengers 2, etc. That's why. I don't want some boring robot. Sorry. But anyway, this movie is a lot better than a lot of critics said it was. It's not a retread. It does similar things, but it all goes in a different direction. It's not beat for beat the first movie. It does its own thing. And I appreciate it for that. And it was funny, just like the first one was. And Roth is amazing. If this was another actress, if this was Samara Weaving, this movie would have collapsed easily. Because, like I said, you got to give actresses like this a big shot because they won't fail you. I've never seen Jessica Rothe fail in anything yet. Two good Blumhouse movies, and she's getting a lot of work on TV and in streaming. So there's a chance for her to be Gwenpool. That would be amaze balls. Oh my god, because that exists, guys. Let me show you before I end the video, because I'm gonna let this go on for a while. Because Gwenpool is cute and she can be badass. I mean, look how cute this is. Hope I don't get a copyright infringement. The unbelievable Gwenpool. Tell me this wouldn't be the cutest, most crazy thing ever compared to Harley Quinn. Yeah, I cannot wait to see that in the MCU or just in a separate Marvel thing, because it's going to happen one day, guys. I bet by the time Marvel is done with the MCU, they're going to have 950 characters on the screen in like several different medias. And I think this character deserves a shot. Yeah, she does. I didn't care about the character when it was first announced because she's just a female Deadpool. But if Jessica Roth played her, oh my, or Erin Moriarty, that would be freaking fantastic. Because I know they have talent. I know it. These other girls are just posers. They're not even American. What are they gonna do? Or Canadian, or Asian, or freaking something. They're not even African, where people have a cool accent or some emotional range. I want that in my movies now. That's why it was so harsh on some movies this summer because you got to give me more than. It's sad when this girl in both of these Happy Death Day movies gave more emotion than freaking half of the characters in Gunpowder Milkshake, where they're just in the background or they're zombies. And again, I don't blame Karen. I blame the bad writing. This movie has some decent writing, and if you gave Gwenpool to yeah, this is another picture of her with the hair. I want to show you. Look at that. Well, I hope those bosoms. Yeah, those are not the. I don't think those bosoms are there, but it was. Yeah, this would be awesome to be in the MCU. Look at this. That is sexy and is crazy, and I could see her totally doing it. Look at her with the blonde hair here. Look at that. Oh yeah, I went there because she's already too old to be Gwen in the MCU. Like for Tom Holland because she's like 10 years older than him. But as Gwenpool, it would be freaking fantastic. That would be great because we're getting more characters. Like we're getting more Spider-Man in the MCU. We're going to get more Deadpool in Marvel. We're going to get the X-Men again. We're going to get Fantastic Four. Why not put Gwenpool in there? Hell, she could just be a supporting character in Deadpool 3. That could make a difference. So it's like, wait a minute. I didn't know I had a vagina. That'd be a great joke. Yes, I know. Oh, that's sexist. I'm like, guys, lighten up a little bit. Deadpool's gonna make fun of Disney all the way to the bank when he's in the MCU. I guarantee it. I didn't have to pay. You don't have to pay $30 to see me. Yeah, I could write the jokes for Deadpool. That's how much of a fan I am of him and even this Gwenpool. Because, like I said, you can do it, guys. This actress is so capable. Get her, use her because she's freaking fantastic. But anyway, that's my review for Happy Death Day to You. I wanted to get all that out of my system, guys. It's been a long day. I had a lot of stress this summer. It's hotter than a mother outside. The only reason I'm not melting is because I have a fan on. But to tell me what you think about my ideas of this girl, this badass chick as Gwenpool. It can't be any worse. I would say Caitlin Deaver, but she's not blonde. Just out of curiosity, Josh. I know I want her badly as well in anything, in any superhero or comic book thing, because you know how crazy I am about her after seeing Booksmart. But think Booksmart meets Deadpool and put it together with a blonde girl instead of a brunette. It's gonna be freaking yeah, and make it for under $100 million because the first Deadpool only cost 58. There you go. People will think it's quirky and weird and different. You don't have to have her over sexualized wearing a bikini, but do something interesting. That's all I'm saying. I'm tired of seeing Batman in everything. We're getting a reboot of Batman again next year. I'm more interested in the Flash movie, to be honest. We're getting another Superman movie, but with freaking a black Superman because we don't have enough wokeness in the world. We're getting a Latina playing black Batgirl. When is it going to end? When is it going to end? Just tell me. Hollywood, when are you going to stop making movies, the same movies, just with a different race or just rebooting it and doing a different origin story? I don't need to see Bruce's parents die again. I don't need to see Superman Krypton's blown up again. I already saw that in Superman and Lois. I don't need the same origin stories. I want something different. Gwenpool can work. And if you catch Jessica Roth or Erin Moriarty and just let her loose, that's going to be freaking Oscar worthy for me as a person that loves women and loves comic books and everything about comics, TV shows, cartoons, movies, toys, video games. Yeah, it's my thing, man. It's the freaking lifeblood of my cinema now. And again, this movie doesn't get enough attention, guys. Watch it for Halloween. This and the first one. Good double feature. Jessica Roth is worth every minute of your time. I could not say the same for Binto. 1 second she started opening her mouth, I'm like, yeah, you are not worthy. You're unworthy. But that's all I'm gonna say, guys. I hope you enjoyed this 20-minute video. I needed to get it. I'm making my videos more exciting. I'm not a boring person, trust me. This is not a character I'm playing. This is who I am, telling you what I think right here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I promise you my next video will be shorter. Later.